I'm doing great. We got a lot to hit today. It's been kind of an interesting few days here.
Hey, good. It sounds like chat can't hear you. I can, but
Did they hear me? It was just Raph, huh?
just Raph.
Oh, so I'm talking to myself. Sweet. Oh, no, thanks for joining.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
back. I'm back, I think. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I tried installing a webcam the other day, and it just for Sergeant's podcast. That's how dedicated I am. And now I think all my streaming settings are all effed up. So here we are. Welcome. It was a beautiful intro. I just solved all of life's problems, gave you guys a secret answer, and that information is lost in time. Um, just crypto. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Hey, good. I'm real excited to talk about this. It's about 48 hours. We got that surprise announcement. I believe it was Saturday night from Bolong, just kind of out of nowhere that we got a big launch coming. It technically launched today, but it doesn't really go live for another 12 hours on the Hercules decks.
All right.
So I've been looking into that pretty much all day, off and on.
And Tad, you're back and better than ever. Back in the ecosystem. You're back from your sabbatical. How was your adventure away from the kingdoms?
It's good to be back. It was good. It's always refreshing. I done took a few breaks in DFK, and every break I take, I come back rejuvenated and more bullish than ever.
Well, we're glad to have you. That's for sure. All right.
Good to
So,
be here. Thank you.
Nindorf, we didn't really come prepared for this. Do you have any questions of the day?
I guess the question I really have is, and this is just will tie us right into it, is, what is Hercules and what makes it different, or why is this exciting? That was my first question after this announcement. So if you guys have thoughts on that, I'd love to hear
Yeah, I'm not gonna really be able to help answer that question at all. So, Just, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Yeah, I got tons of thoughts on it. First and foremost, this kind of solidifies what we already knew about the relationships that the team has with Metis. Um, and first of all, let me say that what I say here is obviously just my opinion based on an outsider's kind of research on this stuff. I don't know anything. Don't take it as fact or gospel or anything like that. Certainly not financial advice. But I have looked into it a lot. It seems like this is kind of a sweetheart deal for DeFi Kingdoms because of the relationships they've formed, where they are getting included in the Genesis pools, which is almost the first. It's technically the second thing that you can really get involved with this DEX. Hercules is a DEX that is nearing their token generation event and starting to get their initial liquidity for that. And that's essentially what the Genesis pools are. They're bootstrapping sticky liquidity, meaning they're incentivizing you to lock it for up to 4 months, but you don't have to. And they're rewarding lots of magic internet money based on that. So everybody loves a Ponzi. I know I do. And I
it.
do not use that term as a pejorative. I use it as a compliment, and I'm ready to farm.
So that's what makes this different, really. It's other money coming and helping potentially benefit DFK as opposed to DFK generating coins or spending money. Is that why we're excited?
That's why I'm excited. That's kind of been the elephant in the room is that in order to pay somebody a crystal or a jewel in the gardens, we have to first earn that jewel from somewhere. We have to earn that crystal from somewhere. We have to deal with reality of economics. Boo. But with Ponzinomics, with a new DEX, with a new project, they get to mint a coin. which is called Torch in this instance for Hercules, and they get to distribute that as they feel best, and they're going to distribute a lot of it to these Genesis pools. And also, the Metis Foundation has given them a grant of Metis that they are also going to distribute. So they have a bunch of money to give away, and that's what's great about it, in my opinion. I mean, there's definitely some conflicting thoughts. I don't mean for that to sound, I don't know, any way weird, but that's kind of the reality of the situation as I see it.
I think the exciting thing is the last time we had hot movement on, pools like this and incentivized pools, it brings players in, it catches eyes, catches attention. And now there's a game that, going back to in a different way, the term sticky, that you already use, but now there's a game for people to hang out and play. There was not a gameplay loop the last time that we minted. Well, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't call Jade really a gameplay loop at that time. And so now we have something. It's drawing some old players like Tad back into the ecosystem. And I think why I'm excited about this is I'm hoping it catches some flies, and they get trapped like all the rest of us in a good way. I mean, we love the ecosystem, and a lot of us have been maxis in here for a long time. But I think we can all agree, we would love the player base to expand, and I think that's pretty exciting, don't you, Neindorf?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the key. I mean, and fresh money and fresh eyes is a great thing, and that's exactly what we need now. And there's only so much that the what I'll say the stable DFK community can do. Like we can all tweet and do some of that sort of stuff, but in reality, we've kind of got the same audience we've had. So these sorts of things I think are huge in the sense that if you're going to get some grassroots growth, I mean, this is a pretty solid way to do it, and it feels like it didn't really cost Kingdom Studios much. So that's what's really cool too.
Well, to go on that, what we know so far, what I know so far is basically on stalking Bolon's posts in Discord for the last 48 hours, is that they are contributing quite a lot, and this was a requirement from Hercules's end. Reading through some of their Medium articles, they really emphasize that they want projects who are willing to kind of put up put some skin in the game, so to speak. So DeFi Kingdoms is actually transferred over quite a lot of Jewel, over 1 million, and they're pairing it with Metis to be the biggest source of liquidity in this pool, and also they're going to be benefiting a lot from this based on the same rewards that we're getting. So they are definitely subject to everything that goes along with that. That makes me a lot more. I actually see that as a really good thing. Because that makes me feel a lot better about putting my own money at risk, knowing that the team that I've followed for so long and respect so long would not be doing that if they weren't, fully vetted and fully on board with this project.
All right, so I'm going to drop some links in chat to these two articles that you shared with me, one of them that I have up on screen. The first link that I'm dropping is the newer one you mentioned, and the second one is a little older, the full Hercules launch details. Is this where people go to find out more information?
Yeah, that one's about a week ago. That talks about, so they had a very brief alpha pools phase where they just kind of got some initial liquidity. They paid out some Metis that was vesting. A lot of these rewards are going to be vesting. This is all kind of like coded language, by the way, for high APRs. I don't know if you're picking up on that, but that's kind of where this is headed, I think. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. And then they dropped a new medium today in the morning, I guess around 12 hours ago, with the announcement that the pools were open. So you're not a day late, by the way. The pools opened this morning, but the rewards start tomorrow morning. So we still have some time to get in, and even if you don't get in at the beginning, this lasts for 4 months. So I'm kind of viewing this as a 4-month endeavor personally. So missing a day or 3 days or an hour or whatever is fine.
That's good, because as I mentioned in chat the other day, I just used up all the rest of my dry powder aping into heroes. But before we get there on kind of the PvP strategies that we're playing, let's talk a little bit about why do we think that players are going to, why do we think the game is stickier? And we're going to kind of recklessly speculate on why is now the right time for the team to go. This seems like it's been coming, kind of all of a sudden evolving really fast. But I think a lot of this has been what they've been building behind the scenes for a long time. Let's start with you, Tad. I mean, I guess first you came back into the game with a vengeance, and I mean you've stuck with it now. So what about like the current gameplay loop is so exciting to you?
Um, to me, basically, I feel like back in the old days of DeFi Kingdoms, any announcement would have like raised the tavern prices or equipment prices or whatever. Like we actually have an exact, not an exact date, but around about exact date for like the end of the year for PvP to come out. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, they could push it back or whatever. But I'm planning for the end of this year, right? And I'm planning for the Metis partnership in the Coliseum, and I'm planning from other guilds that I talk to. Everybody has this number around 25 grand in prize pool for the first tournament or the first whatever PvP event. And just thinking about that, and then when I compare that to like prices in game, I feel like even investing, you know what I'm saying, whatever you feel like investing, if you're able to even scrape away 5% of that prize pool, 10% of that prize pool, you know what I'm saying, and you're able to come top 10, I feel like it's worth taking the risk on. Um, and and I feel like if other players, if other big players kind of seen that and thought about that too, they would be investing more.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I like that because like you're saying, that say you felt that meant that you could invest a couple grand into DFK, $2,000 actually buys you a lot of gear and a lot of heroes right now. And we're still in that phase when you can collect a fairly sizable stack of things for a couple grand, say.
Yes, I feel like the money goes way longer than what it did back like last year. Even last year to this point, the money is like what $2,000 now versus $2,000 last year. You're getting like 5 times the amount of things you would get. You know what I'm saying? So
And there are more things to buy too, right? I mean, now we've got gear, we've got I feel like pets are going to become relevant here again, and they've always been relevant, but I think you're going to see a resurgence of that here pretty soon too. That's my reckless speculation.
Yeah, I like how the game, it feels like they've, and this is something that Hubert's really hammered the point home on some of the last few podcasts that he's been on. But they've tried to work out a balance where many things are relevant. It's not just the rarity of the hero, it's the weapons that they're holding, it's the armor that they're holding, it's the potions that you're using, it's the strategy of the skills that you're using, it's the skills that you're selecting in the skill tree before you go into battle. And it sounds like, if he has his way before PvP launches, it'll also be the hero traits as well, which will add an entirely another wrinkle and layer to it. It does seem like they've threaded the needle of that balance where you just bringing the highest stat hero doesn't automatically win you the game. And one of the things that has been kind of much maligned is the archer nerf that happened recently. But Juss, you've been able to work around that just fine, and you've released some videos of how you continue to go out and win against those chickens. What do you think about the balance that the team's striking right now?
In terms of gameplay with the
Right.
changes to the archer, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really think much of the archer adjustments when it happened. That's not how I played, anyways. But yeah, that's what I've been focused on, obviously, for the last couple weeks as the Bad Mother Clucker came out. I think that's an amazing 10 out of 10 encounter. Boars is very good, but Bad Mother Clucker, that's the one that really gives interesting games over and over and over again. So I really enjoy deep diving that. But yeah, in terms of what kind of stuck out from what Tad was saying is he's talking about building for the end of the year, which is kind of where I've kind of made some decisions in terms of shifting my focus and kind of going through my list of assets that I've kind of just hoarded, and thinking with an objective eye, like, does this help me for the initial end of the year launch the way I think it's going to go, or does it not, and kind of just making some decisions based on that. And I've been buying a bunch of stuff that can contribute to that in a positive some way. So yeah, but boars are just super fun. Or sorry, birds are just super fun. Now that I mean, it's pretty much solved. I think it was really fun, really especially fun the first couple of days trying to figure out how to beat them. But that's pretty well known. But the gameplay is super fun. I had so many awesome games just today that, I mean, it's just really good.
Neindorf,
They're really
I
setting the
know.
bar high on that, aren't they? With their level up of their game from the boars to the chickens. Like they I think that's what almost has me the most excited is that the quality of the product, the challenge, the levels of depth. And this is just two void hunts. Like this is just the surface we're scratching here, I feel like.
It sure
Oh
is.
yeah, that is exactly what has me excited. When I was on Grady's stream, I see him in chat there. Shout out to Grady. I said this is reminding me a lot of Darkest Dungeon, the game, which is an amazing like 11 out of 10 thing. That's exactly where you want to be, and they're hitting on that.
So Neindorf, a lot of the, historically we've been talking about there's many ways to play the game. But I think what comes first is you have to have a strong PvP ecosystem. Last week on Sarge's podcast, I was trying to talk a little bit about, where I believe the future game loop will go, and it's going to require some trickle down economics. I think having the LP pools, that's gravy on top. I mean, I hope that really brings in players, but ultimately there has to be a sustainable game loop. Juss, I know you mentioned that was something that was heralded by the Dragons Crossing team, and I think we've all kind of mentioned that it's kind of rubbed people the wrong way. But in order for PvP to work in the future, people have to be willing to pay to play a game. And there's going to be winners of that game, and there's going to be losers of the game. I think the really exciting thing about the future Neindorf is that it's going to open up an ecosystem outside of just player versus player. It's going to open up an ecosystem in other places. Any reckless speculation on what are some of the ecosystem items, whether it's moksha runes or whether it's, farming quests, profession quests, or, where do you think some of those areas are going to pop up as creating value to support the PvP environment?
Yeah, I think, and I've kind of thought about that too. I go back to that we're always like it's gonna have to be winners and losers. I think the part of that equation that we forget and that we kind of leave out is enjoyment and entertainment is actually a value withdrawal, if you will. Like I am willing to say play PvP and lose because I enjoy it. It's like going to the movie tickets and buying a movie, going to the movie theater and buying a ticket, right? I spend money, but I extract entertainment as my value.
Or buying a
So
Web
I
2
think
video game,
exactly. So that's the part that I keep forgetting to enter into my calculus. I'm like, well, how am I ever going to get anything out of this? How am I? I keep I want to put more in because I feel like this is so bullish. But then, like, how do I get out? And I got to remind myself that not only is there financial withdrawal, but there's also that entertainment withdrawal. And I mean, I think honestly, that is one of the things that's kept me here for so long. And I need to remember to continue to fill that in, in terms of my own calculations, because gosh, this is just a lot of fun. And to your point of how there's different ways to earn. I mean, now I'm looking at these new pools that they're opening. There's, the research, the learning that I'm having to do here. Like I enjoy all of that as well. So I don't know, this is just crazy to me. This is one of the most excited I've been as well in DeFi Kingdoms in quite some time.
Yeah, so Tad, you're having some fun. I
Yeah.
know you made some market moves. You grabbed a whole bunch of masks out of nowhere. So you're building to the future. Is there anything that you can share? Like, don't dive too deep into the bag of alpha here, but what are you going for moves wise? I mean, you're making a splash.
Yeah, I I grabbed up a lot of Chargers masks 'cause I think they're. I mean, I don't really. Value is always in the eye of whoever. You know what I'm saying? To me, I just think they were priced right for what I'm going for. Basically, I'm a spellbow maxi. It's probably my favorite class besides the private, besides the pirate. So if you just look on the stats of it, right? When I use the Charger's mask on my non Codex heroes, like my shapeshifter that has like 55 decks, I pretty much don't miss. So when I just think about on Dex heroes, you know what I'm saying, without giving too much alpha, you're not gonna miss
Free
that
damage.
often, right? Yeah, so it's like it's borderline free damage, right? Obviously you're gonna get those misses every now and then, but if I'm building decks on my spell bow, I'm gonna get the benefit of both magical and physical damage. So I'm just preparing for that because I have a spellbow army a spellbow army of like 20 to 25 or 30 probably now. So so I'm just basically stacking up on those for whenever it
I
comes
love
out.
that. You know, Neindorf, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think diving into the calculations about a month ago when we were building out the equipment site on ADFK, I noticed with some of the accuracy calculations that you can actually send your accuracy above 100%. And then when you get some of these accuracy debuffs on moves, it will register and show, but like when you're clicking attack, it'll only show visually in the game a max of 100%, but you could actually have a base accuracy above that. Maybe I'm missing something and I just interpreted that wrong, but I think if you can build a hero that has above 100% accuracy with in terms of the decks that they're using and the weapon that they're using, then if you throw the Charger's mask on, you could go from 104 down to 94%, and so like the hit actually isn't that hard.
That's right. Yeah. That's the key. And I think, there's other moves that other hero classes have that can also lower enemy evasion or things like that. And the way the formula kind of works is if you can get an enemy into negative evasion territory as well, I think fairly easily depending on the enemy and what skill sets we have. So there's a lot of things that you can do, even if you're worried about your accuracy getting low. You can buff that back out if you take the time and again reach to the depths of this game and find out all of those little nuggets that the classes can provide. And there'll be more of them coming. Don't worry.
Now, Juss, you got a yoked shield, yoked buckler, right? It was an early drop for you. Are you still holding that, or did you turn that into some investment money into for a liquidity pool?
I don't want to talk about it.
The
I got two of them.
oh
I got two of them. I sold them both for a total of 11,000 crystal.
oh. What are their going rates now? They're not. Are there any even on the market?
There's not that many, but it's fine. I made some other investments in terms of heroes that I'm pretty happy with, and yeah, I was very lucky in terms of the opening day. Like I was like the first one I won almost, or second one I won, I got the yoked buckler, and I think it's pretty cool. I think what Tad said was very smart there. A lot of times in terms of game design, there's a lot more room to add power on items that have a kind of a penalty. You see this a lot in Magic. Like those are always the cards that end up being awesome. Is the ones that when you first read it, you're like, I never want to do this because it hurts me so bad. But then there's some way to kind of mitigate that penalty in order to just get all the upside, because the upside on a card that has a penalty can be much higher than a card that doesn't have a penalty. So that's a really smart thing to look for in terms of how to mitigate a penalty and then enjoy all the upside. So that was really cool. That's definitely a good move with the Charger Mask, I think. The Buckler and Goreblade is kind of a combo, I guess. Being able to use two pieces of equipment instead of just one with a two-handed weapon or whatever is going to be pretty good, I think. So yeah. But that being said, I think we have a lot of months to continue to farm this, continue to massage our positions in terms of equipment. So I'm not really that worried about, selling too early or whatever. I have sold a lot of equipment. I keep the really good ones. Neither of those bucklers were any good. I know Hope got a really good one recently that was way better than the two I sold. So that's my cope.
All right, and I see I have up on screen here. I had not seen the Excalibur for sale yet, and true to my prediction, it is around the price of a Scully's Eye. I actually think that it'll continue to maintain value just with the rate of drops. I totally agree with you that I think we are going to have a few months to prepare for combat when it comes out, but until that point in time, there's just not that many hunts going on, and I think it's great that they're keeping the drop rate low on things. But I could see every single person wanting one of these on one of their teams. And I know that they're going to, even though tournaments aren't in phase one of the release of PvP, it'll be private battles only. The community is going to rally together and find a way to organize a tournament. With that, I have absolutely all the confidence in the world. So I can see that something like this, which really increases the damage, still being very high value as we get into PvP.
Just to say, one of the Excaliburs were sold recently. I
Oh,
was in the
really?
market for it. So yeah, it got sold for I think 25,000 crystal.
Okay.
Yeah, from Alex the King. He played Fight Club, Majin.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He sold it. I think he sold it to Hitman Burt. That's who it was. From Eternal Zenith.
That's a big play.
Yeah, it is a big play, and the next one that just got recently listed was like listed for like 100 plus K crystal. So I don't know if I still think that sale was good. I told him the sale was good because I was in the market for it and he was trying to get higher for it, and I told him it was a good sale. So
I
you
think
got
Well,
to
you know,
take
and,
the money in right now.
you do, and now it's kind of interesting because you can't really use them on a Codex hero. So there's kind of the limited utility, but they're still super rare.
Yeah, I agree, and I like what Just was saying earlier. e- We have like what? Let's say Q4 PvP comes out. You have 6 months to 8 months to farm this, right? And if you look at it, doesn't seem like there's a lot of equipment buyers. So you can just wait until people keep undercutting each other and then just keep waiting. And then when you want to buy, you can just sweep everything and then just let it reset. That's pretty much what I'm doing now because I don't see anybody really going for, not much people going for equipment. So I could just let people just undercut, get as low as where I wanted to, and then just sweep it. Because if I wanted to, I really do want to buy it now, but it's like, know what I'm saying? I'm a cheapskate. Like it doesn't really make sense for me to pay the extra money when people are just gonna undercut themselves. And that's what I'm saying. That's what the DFK economy does. You just undercut. So it's like I'm just gonna wait until it gets to back into a range where I feel like I could just save like a few thousand crystal in a bulk
So,
buy.
so basically, you let the equipment farmers compete with himself to a point where you're like, oh, that's under market value, and then you can have your way with them.
Exactly.
I love it.
So let me switch to heroes. I mean, that's the other thing we're kind of farming is experience. I think it's reasonable to expect that PvP is really going to be played at level 20 for the foreseeable future after PvP comes out. How close are you guys to getting a hero to level 20? I do not have one there yet. Do you guys?
I'm about 19 and a half, I think, is as close as I am. But it's getting, tell you what, the boar hunting, it's a warrior, so that's getting a lot of experience a day. So I think I'll be there here in probably like, I don't know, a week or two.
I love it. Yeah, I am. My best is I have a couple level 18s, and one of them is a PJ Survivor who's actually had some great stat level ups too. But the other ones are my Gen Zeros that aren't really going to be with the best of them once PvP combat comes out. I'm just kind of farming that experience so I can start building stronger Gen 1s to sell or to use in this new burn mechanic. That, I mean, we can speculate on that in a little bit, but I think going back to the what items or what's going to remain valuable as we're getting to level 20. To me, I think it's clear that Moksha runes, unless some new feature comes out that's going to drop Moksha runes, I think those are going to continue to be valuable. And I feel like stamp pots, because people are going to want to get that experience. And as soon as they start fighting with their heroes that are like the old Serendale OGs and they realize how underpowered they are, people are going to be wanting to throw those heroes back into the pit, throw 2 level 20s together and, Stone and Crystal, another hero all the way up to 20. And that's going to take Moksha runes for sure. So I think Moksha runes are going to continue to stay mega valuable over the next really year until we see the next set of levels release, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. The team has announced that they feel like they want more than just the basic classes. They want all the classes out before that comes. So that's kind of my prediction on value. Neindorf, I'll let you react to that.
Yeah, keep an eye on Swift Thistle then, because I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of farming going on in quests over in Serendale. So I think I have noticed. I was just kind of Swift Thistle is a little more.
Neindorf, we lost you there.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now we got you.
Okay. Yeah, I think Swift Thistle, like I was saying, you got to watch out for it. Then, if stampots are going to be a thing, not a lot of Swift Thistles being found these days. So I think that's going to be another play. I know I pulled all my foragers a while back, off of Serendale just because the cost outweighed the benefits. But that might be something we got to get back to here pretty quick and see if there's some room for more foragers over there again.
I love that. Just any other plays that you're making? I think you got a pretty large farming army. Did you turn off the Serendale farming like some of us did when gas jumped up in price?
Yeah, I'm not farming much in Serendale. I have been watching Swift Thistle. It's been up for the last month or so pretty steadily, which is something to watch for. At some point, it hits that number where it's worth bridging over the foragers again. I might bridge over a couple foragers just with, I think it's Fortune Seeker. No, not Fortune Seeker. Whatever it is that gets the rare plants. I think that's probably a good idea if you have some good pets bonuses, just because you'll get a lot of bang for your buck, for your gas rather. But yeah, everything's crashing right now. I'm looking at it. I guess Bitcoin just dropped a couple thousand, but that'll happen. Sorry.
So
Yeah. In terms of farming, I did actually recently get a couple more wallets going and bought a bunch of not floor heroes, but kind of specific heroes that I wanted in terms of having some rarity, stuff I thought was underpriced, stuff that I want to start leveling up now and eventually be able to either use or sell based on how it goes for the next 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry. I was just going to say Swift Thistle, it looks like, has about 4x in about 2 months. So it's definitely recovered some.
All right. Well, Neindorf, we have not spun the wheel to give things away in a while.
Ooh,
and we got a lot of people.
Great idea.
We got a lot of people in chat right now. So we need to come up with some kind of question to get the names in chat. You must be present to win, but we need people to answer a question. You guys want to help me come up with just any kind of a fun question that I'll start filling out the wheel of names.
Oof. That's tough. Putting the pressure on here. We got to create some idea now. We can't just talk DFK.
Yeah. All right. So let's do this. So lame. This is really lame. There's no question right now. And so we'll go after Renpen Acoustics in chat. So everyone who says something after Renpen Acoustics, you'll get one name entry into the wheel. So if you're here, basically yell out present, and we'll throw your name onto the wheel. And we'll kind of try to stall for time while we give our folks maybe 1 or 2 minutes to fill that up. And, maybe what we could do is we could spin the giveaways of what we're going to do. So let me get the airdrop determination up here online. So let's go.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I was just going to say too, did we get any information on like the locking mechanisms for these Hercules pools, like the durations or the changes? Is any of that information out there, or are we still kind of in the hurry up and wait phase?
No, there's a lot out there. I don't know everything on it, but I know a lot. If you want to get into like the specifics, I know it's kind of not really great podcast material to go into this stuff, but we do have, like I said, about 12 hours before rewards go live, and we can go through your bridging options and the ways to get in these pools and how long you can lock, what it does for you, and kind of some options in terms of playing it tomorrow if people are interested.
I mean, I think spending a few minutes on that makes sense because, boy, I tell you, when I first started digging into this stuff is kind of complicated. So I think getting your insights, if you've done that, we might as well put a few minutes there just to give people, maybe it can save some people some effort, shortcut some time here.
Yeah, first and foremost, the Synapse Bridge is up for Metis. I think it's a little bit pricey to move Jewel over, but there's a lot of liquidity over there already. You can use Hercules Dex. If you have some ETH to get over to Metis, there's a bunch of third-party bridges you can do as opposed to the main bridge from Ethereum network. And also you can get USDC from DFK chain to Metis really easy with Synapse Bridge, or USDT from Binance chain from Stargate. That's a really good way to go if that means anything to you. So in terms of getting money there, that's basically all you need is like a 50-50 split between Jewel and Metis in order to enter this. And then you go to the site for Hercules Dex, and you need to go to Genesis Pools. No, Pools. And the important part is that you click on Vaults V3 instead of V3. You don't want to do a V3 pool because the Vault V3 is what you can deposit into Genesis to get those extra rewards. And if you're not minting an NFT when you do it, you did it wrong. So once you do that and select Jewel, you can see where it's going to rebalance the pool for you. You don't need to worry about any of the DLMM stuff where you kind of adjust your liquidity based on price. It's going to do that for you because they have a partner in Steer that's going to rebalance everything, so you're never going to be out of range. And then once you do that, you have an opportunity to create a position, like I said, 50-50. And after you approve your tokens and start to create it, you can choose how long to lock, if at all, and that gives you a multiplier on your rewards. And you can choose, and the maximum you can do it is 4 months. This is only lasting for a maximum of 4 months, but obviously that's just the maximum. You can do less if you want. And you have until the 7th, I believe. Yeah, 6 days from now to get in this pool, but rewards start tomorrow. So if you're going to do it, you might as well get those few days of rewards. But if you're not sure what you want to do, there's no real harm in waiting, which is what I would recommend.
Okay, so it was, I want to go back to that. You said there's 2 different V3 items to consider here. This is kind of some news to me. I've gotten to the point where I bridged over Jewel and USDC, and that's where I've kind of frozen.
If you want to pull up the site, I can walk you through it, or if somebody does, because it's hard to just.
Let me see here. I have it on a separate computer that I'm not able to share.
If you send me the link, I can. You want me to look at these LP tokens, or I'm sorry, I was writing down names, and I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to all of that because I can't do 2 things.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
You can just go to Hercules.exchange, I believe.
Yeah, I sent you a link in
all right,
Raph.
Because just looking here online while he pulls that up, on the top of the site, there's the earn drop down, and there's positions, pools, alpha pools,
so you
pools.
You go earn to pools first. You don't go Genesis pools first. Genesis pools is kind of like your dashboard is going to show you afterwards. But when you get into pools, there's the V2, V3, and Vaults V3. You need to be in the Vault.
Oh, that's tricky.
So once you click on the Vault, you'll see there's a provider tab. That's going to be the rebalancer. So like I said, this is Uni V3. We're used to Uni V2, I believe, in DFK. So this one's a little more complicated. So the provider Steer is going to rebalance the pool for you, so we're never going to be out of range. So you don't need to worry about like setting up a price in terms of like if you wanted to get in this pool kind of on your own, you would have to set up a price range to where it stays in, and it would convert like all of one to all of the other if you were doing it on your own, and price if Joule went up a bunch in comparison to Metis, it would convert all of your Joule to Metis. But it's not going to do that because we have the steer rebalancer that's going to kind of make sure that it doesn't do that. And then once you click on the Joule Metis, you can approve both tokens, like I said, like you do with a normal LP, and hit create position. And this it tells you right here, if you're on the right page for V3 vaults, join the pool by creating a SP NFT position. A lot of these new dexes are so fancy with the prefixes, I know, but they give you an NFT basically to as like a receipt, where like Aave or something gives you an A token or whatever back in the day. The new ones give you an NFT for that. So don't transfer it. Whoever has the NFT controls the position. Don't burn it, obviously.
So that's crazy. When you click that button where it says the create NFT, it takes you to something that looks identical if you had gone to not to the
Yes.
V3 vault.
Right. That's the
Wow,
confusing part. That's what's confusing about this.
I'm glad you walked us through this, because I was about to do that
Okay.
a couple hours ago, and I would have had no clue I did it wrong.
Right. So yeah, if you don't through the V3 vault, and you get to this add liquidities phrase, it won't say okay. So Raph's on the wrong one right there.
Okay,
So that's where it shows. It's on the wrong one because see how it's showing that the price range. So that's where it's going to dump all of your Joule into Metis if it goes up, and vice versa.
Okay.
So you want to click earn at the top, and then go to pools.
Okay.
And click the middle tab to be in vault.
Vaults. Got it.
And then you select Joule Metis, and it's going to show you this instead. It's going to show you that Steer is going to manage that liquidity for you, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you can read their docs if you want, but then you can scroll down and do a create position, and it's going to be basically like, joining an LP.
Okay.
You need 50%. I don't think you can do one-sided. I'm not 100% on that. But if you do 50% in Joule and 50% in Metis like we're used to, and then the one last thing, so we're not going to be able to see this if you don't have your account quite set up, but when you hit create position, there's going to be two important things that you need to do. One is decide how long you want to lock for, and the other is decide to deposit it into the Nitro pool. Yeah, chat's kind of freaking out. This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard for people.
I sent you a picture of the sub screen, Raph, if you could pull that up. Basically, yeah, it gives you a non-intuitive month day.
Oh.
Okay, so the Nitro auto staking, that part's important to turn on. And then locking, I believe it's been reported enough times that I believe you get a 1.6x modifier if you lock for 4 months. I think it'll tell you, I haven't done mine, so I'm not 110% on this. But if you lock it for 4 months, which is optional, it will give you basically, 160% rewards instead of just 100. But you do need to hit the Nitro auto staking. The Nitro pool lasts from tomorrow, the 2nd, until the 15th. So that's actually when the rewards are going to be the highest, is for those 13 days. On the 15th, you will only get Genesis rewards instead of Genesis plus Nitro. So that's important. And there may be a way, after we get some Torch on the token generation event, to like lock Torch to get even more rewards. But if you do all this stuff, that's kind of the highest APR choice. They said they were going to release a bunch of information and more about this today, and we got some of it, but not all of it. So it's still a little bit nebulous in my mind, but this is what I've been researching all day.
And so the magical 4-month lock duration is kind of to maximize reward.
Right, that's the maximum. It's you can of course do you could do 15 days to just get the Nitro rewards if you want to. You could do 0 lock and be ready to get out of there and sell at any point. If you think the Torch looks like it's going up and it's time to sell, you can do that if you're not locked. Or you could just, I'm kind of viewing this as a kind of midterm investment personally. Like I had some ETH basically just sitting around farming points. I converted it to this just because this is what I want to farm for kind of that midterm for 3 to 4 months at least. So I'm just going to throw it in there and farm these rewards based on that. But that's up to the individual. I can't advise that, obviously.
So
And it's what, like less than 12 hours from now when the actual real rewards start being earned, correct?
Correct. 11 o'clock, about 12 hours. Yeah, tomorrow. And then, yeah, like I said, you can deposit any time up until Sunday, I believe, the 7th. But if you're going to do it, you might as well start earning the max rewards as quick as possible. I suspect the APRs are going to start out very high and then slowly creep down. Just as more people enter, obviously, it'll get more diluted. And also in 13 days, when the Nitro rewards stop, it'll get a little bit lower based on that. I don't really know how much, but that's something to consider. But it's going to be high rewards at first, for sure. But it's up to anybody to decide how much or how little they want to do with this. But this is kind of, old school DFK, baby. I mean, this is Jewel paired with not an L1 and L2, but like back in the day when we paired Jewel with Avalanche, Luna, Rip, Harmony One, all that stuff, and they all went up in a raging bull market, and we were earning 3 and 4 figure APRs. Like, this is as close as we're going to get, basically, in terms of that opportunity. Maybe it doesn't go that way. Maybe Torch is not going to go up forever. Probably not. It's a Dex token, but that's kind of a risk I'm willing to take personally.
So
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm glad we took the time to go through that.
yeah, thank you. I'm still stuck on kind of like step one. I see Crypto Baby H asking this question in chat. How do we get our, we can connect to bridge our Jewel over here, but how do we get the Metis token?
Yeah, so I ran into this, and I can thank Juss for helping me solve it too. I bridged over USDC and Jewel, and then I approved to swap USDC to Metis, and then I ran out of free gas from the bridge. So I threw out a flyer and just threw me a couple bucks in gas so I could swap the USDC to Metis. And so then once you've done that, then you're basically free and clear.
Yeah, unfortunately, Metis is one of the more expensive L2s in terms of fees right now for gas because it's basically getting its data availability from the mainnet, which is not what you want to do. It's working on the EigenLayer DA solution to that. That's what they've been talking about in terms of getting prices down a lot, but it's not live yet. So it costs like $1 basically to do a swap, and they don't give you enough Metis based on depending on what time of day. So that's a problem. But yeah, like I said, USDC from DFK chain to Metis is very good. Jewel to Metis is also very good. I think you pay a little bit more fees with Jewel. But the liquidity is really good here too. If you wanted to get ETH in here, it's easy to get ETH in here or stables from here and kind of like not go through DFK chain, which is kind of a good idea in a lot of ways because there's a lot less liquidity there, so you get price impact. So you can just get ETH into Metis through a lot of different bridges, and then you can convert. But in terms of getting the actual Metis, it's a little bit tricky. We've been definitely trading some Metis between oxes that need it.
All right. Well, now I need to take a nap just to recover from all of this learning. Thank you for all the details.
All right, I just assaulted everybody with my research.
No, this is awesome.
What do you want?
I feel like half the community that's been here, more than half the community. I don't know. Maybe I'm calling most of us dumb. I feel like we wouldn't have been able to find this out, and this came on in a hurry too. So I appreciate you really getting out there, helping share this information. And putting the action in our hands to make the choices. We at least now have the understanding of what's going on, or at least the steps to follow. And then this, of course, is everyone's own individual risk to take. All right. Well, let's spin that wheel, Neindorf.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to spin the airdrop determination. I'll have you make sure that we're not overcommitting, but I think we got to spin a few times tonight for sure. It's been a while since we've
Yeah,
done this.
let's do it. I'll get the wallet over here so we know what it is that, like you said, so we make sure we don't give away something that we don't currently have. That
Right.
would be fun.
All right, first one's a regular crystal. I know we got those, so we'll keep going.
Yes, we do.
Another regular crystal. We got to keep going. We're going to have some fun with this tonight. What do you think? 5 times tonight for spinning?
Yeah, sure. 5 sounds good.
Oh boy. Almost a greater stone. Greater crystal. Still good. Have yet to give away that sneaky greater stone. Another regular crystal. All right, one more spin for good luck here. All right. So we're going to give away 4 greater crystals and 1 greater stone.
Wait, hold
excuse
on.
me.
4 regular crystals.
4 regular crystals and 1 greater crystal. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, I'm ready to go.
So
we want to do a certain item, like which kind or flavor.
You tell me.
Let's do finesse for today. We got a lot of finesses floating around.
We got a lot of finesse. All right, so I got a lot of names in the wheel here. We need G Rhythm, late entry up on the wheel. I think I got, Code Green is here. I think I got everyone else on the wheel. All right, so we're going to do the 4 regular crystals first, and we're going to save the greater crystal for last. We're giving away finesse. Once your name is drawn, you're out of the spinning.
Remember, winners, say you're present and DM Neindorf so that we can get you your items.
All right, great. We got sticks and turn. Winner number 1.
All right. I'm taking better notes this time.
Cassius, winner number 2.
All right.
We got Beeve, winner number 3.
All right, so last regular.
Last regular crystal. We got Raventoe. All right, and now for the greater crystal, greater finesse crystal. Those are some hefty jewel right there swinging around.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's a good one.
All right, and we got, it's right on the middle. We got Mario. Excellent.
Nice. All right, yeah, again, I see we've got pretty much everybody here present, it looks like, who's won. We might be waiting on one, but basically, yeah, DM me. I probably won't get to it tonight, but I'll get you guys your items here in short order, so.
Love it.
Awesome. Congrats, guys.
Thank you, Neindorf, for that giveaway. All right, and thank you, Juss, for all the explanations. Tad, thank you for joining us tonight as well. A lot of fun to have you back in Discord.
Yeah,
Kind of rejuvenated us.
Man, it's crazy because I had to catch up on so much content. It was, man, it's like 3 months. Like Fran said, like 3 months of content I caught up in like a week, and it's like, wow. Sometimes it's like you could see the points of like sentiment go up, sentiment go down, sentiment go up, sentiment go down. Like it's different. Like, and I'm just like hearing it in different videos. I go to one video, it's like, oh, okay, sentiment is high over here. Okay, sentiment is low over here, and it's like, damn, like, am I coming in? Am I the only one just like super excited? I'm like, we got a PvP announcement. Is that like not what we wanted? And I'm just like, wait, is the market not moving off of this before, bro? Before, all right, so
yeah, it's crazy.
So we seem bipolar.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I think it's the hero market. I guess people are freaking out about the floors or whatever, and the inflation. But I couldn't be more bullish. I don't really understand it. Everybody's got their own opinion. I'm more bullish now than ever, and yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny because like I remember back in the day when like we would get something on the AMA, any little brief thing, like any little small little like hint, and the market would move. Like I remember when Dark Summoning came out and when it was talked about how much the floors got just brought up crazy. I'm just like, wow, nothing is moving. Like you saw Hubert talk about the little Dark Summon mechanic um that we're gonna have for like he hinted at it being crystals, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
he hinted at, and I'm like, and he talked about rarity mattering, and I'm like, okay, the legendary floor is still like 180. Is
Yeah.
people not
That's
buying? Like
dirt cheap.
it's just like it's like
You
with
know what
eggs
else he
too.
mentioned? He mentioned on
Uh,
Bravia's podcast that summons are going to be the multiplier
yeah, just
too.
like dark summoning,
Right.
how it
And
boosts the
so
rarity. So
Oh man.
the floor on, 10 out of 10 still. I mean, all of these scholars and berserkers, the class that doesn't make it to dread, 130. I mean, I'm really surprised that someone hasn't gone in and swept this, spent 2,000 crystal, 3, 4, 5,000 crystal, and just bought up that floor.
yeah,
And I'm kind of hoping
market
it
is
I
happens.
exhausted.
mean, I did. I spent like 10,000 buying the heroes I wanted in terms of 10 out of 10s and legendaries and rares with good subclasses, man. That's what I want for to level up for 8 months and see what happens with PvP.
I like to not keep track, so then I don't know, and it feels great.
I spent way too much on heroes the other night.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to
mean
talk
that's
about
the
it.
thing. You can buy and buy and buy, but there's going to be more heroes. That's kind of a, topic for another pod.
Right.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We got a good viewer group here tonight. We're up around 39 people for a while. So great to see some rejuvenation and some excitement about the Genesis pools and about PvP. Love having you guys out there and glad people could participate
Wait one
in
second.
the raffle. Go ahead.
Could I share my screen? Could I do a dark summon
Uh,
real quick?
yeah.
Or is
Oh,
that
do
possible?
it.
Well, why not?
Oh,
Uh,
let's go.
Yeah. Let
This
me
is
just.
this is bringing some good luck here.
Yeah. Let me. Man, I haven't been on Discord in so long. Is it like this?
I got it.
All
It's going
right.
to take me a moment to bring it up here. So let me stop sharing.
Okay.
Hold on. Well, give me a second to bring this
Okay.
up.
Okay. My bad. My bad. My bad. Let me.
All right. We got it up. We got it up.
Okay. You got it up. All right. Bet. Let me do a dark summon here. I was gonna save it for the summons, but I'll do it here because I
Yep.
actually want to see. All right. Going for
Go
is it
shifty.
this one. Yes, this one and
Oh
this one.
boy.
So I'm looking at
Let's
going for a
go.
mythic spell bow, but I actually don't mind getting a bard or a shapeshifter. Right now, I'm really making like three different mythic versions of heroes, and I'm trying to get three different builds, legendary or mythic, not all mythic. So I'm trying to go for three different builds because I know, oh, and I don't even need rarity. I know people like you can do the thing where you just build up stuff and build it up for later and stuff like that. But it's like if I just have like, let's say I have a shapeshifter with like a pure luck build, like and to the point where I max luck to the point where I'm not getting diminishing returns, and then maybe one shapeshifter build with like dex, and then maybe one with agility, and then I'm just trying to build up a bunch of stuff like that right now. So
I like that approach because there's going to be a lot of reasons to have different max stats and different combo moves. So that's pretty
yes,
clever.
yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going for. Oh my god, why is it not? It's doing the slow approve where it does it. This is why I use Brave browser. This is on Chrome because I'm on Discord on Chrome. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right. Oh, did I show the skills that I'm trying to get?
No, you didn't.
Not yet.
All right. Yeah. So it has cleanse. I want the clutch to pass over and intimidation to pass over, and I don't care about the actives because both of them are good. So that's pretty much what I'm going for.
All right.
So
Purple.
yeah, and there's no recessives. I
Yeah.
just basically made these from I've been as long as summoning is still the option, pretty much I'm gonna just keep summoning now that I came back. So I just made these recently just from summoning a bunch of heroes because right now I'm trying to build up to dreads again so I could just what I'm saying and I'm building up giant slayer heroes and that's pretty much what I'm doing right now and then so
I love Giant Slayer.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when that was like it's like almost a year ago when you started building it up. Remember that when we talked about that? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I checked your wallet the other day. I'm like, holy holy shit, you have like so
Yeah.
many second lives and giant slayers and doubles. I was like, what the fuck?
It's been
Yeah, he's
a
been
Well,
busy,
it's
that's
been a
man.
great.
year of building. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy. All right. If I get the spell ball, anything just but a rug. That's really what the spell ball I'll be happy about. The shapeshifter and bard I actually be happy about too.
I think
So
bards are going to be fun. I can see them being a real cool hero.
yeah, I have one good one, but that's really all. All right.
Come on, see
Let's
that
go.
bow.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh, it
Yes.
look at this hero.
Hey,
Oh, buddy.
nice,
Greater vigor.
nice. 17 bit.
Oh,
Nice,
Jeez.
nice. Ooh. All right. Okay,
nice.
and
You
we
got
got
it
the
all.
Intimidation
intimidation.
stuck.
You
Okay.
got it all. That's
I just
about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I just didn't get the clutch. I would rather clutch
hell,
over headstrong, but honestly, that's beautiful.
that's all right.
It's a
That's
big hit.
beautiful.
Wow.
Let's
That's
go.
Is that the best? Is that one of your top spell bows, or probably not yet?
Now it is. Now it is because remember when I used to make spell bows, I used to keep the legendaries and I would sell all the mythics. That was like my
Mm.
my motto. Keep the
Kind of
legendaries and
playing
sell
the
the
field a
mythics.
little bit that way.
Yeah, that was back when it was actually worth it to do it. Now, if anything I sell, all right. So this is what I'm gonna burn next. Let me just show you. I have a spell bow that I'm not gonna burn it on stream right now. I'm waiting. I'm burning it with a mythic giant slayer hero. But I'm burning this guy right here. He has no stone. I just got him the other day from regular summon, and he has no stone. So I'm gonna burn him with a mythic giant slayer and leadership hero. That's the plan. And hopefully I get the mythic spellbow, and then I get the giant slayer and leadership on him. That's
All
what.
right.
Love it.
So yeah,
Sweet.
I'll stop
Nice
sharing that.
pull there.
Nah,
Well,
thank you,
that's
thank you.
what a great
Nice.
way to end the stream. All right.
Congrats.
Nah,
Well,
peace.
thanks.
I see that guy wearing a pig's head sometime in his future.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. A lot of things to be bullish about. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for both our panelists and for all of you listening.